Yankees are 20-12. The Orioles 19-11. Percentage points ahead of the Yankees in the AL East. Volpe's ready. Bradish is ready. And let's do it here in Baltimore. First pitch is a strike, and we're underway. Dan Iasonia, the home plate umpire. Ben May at first. CB Buckner at second. Adam Beck is over at third. Oh and 2 on Volpe. Volpe 1 for 12 in this series. All right, the scouting report on Iasonia. He is pitcher friendly, more high strikes, more outside strikes on lefty batters. He's the crew chief. He's in his 26th season. Swing and a miss. Volpe goes fishing and strikes out.
Well, there's that two-tier slider, Coney, you were talking about it, and it's got really good depth. It's got some sweep to it, but not a ton. But it's an outstanding pitch for him against right-handers and left-handers.
Yeah, to me, that's the shape that you'd want as a slider, because you get both. You get the best of both worlds. Plane change and also off the plate.
There's Juan Soto, 9-game hitting streak, 11 for 33.
Bees maybe here? Get some bees that they're swatting at?
Don't worry, Soto will hit it. The game in Arizona was delayed 2 hours the other night because of a swarm of bees on the screen. They brought in a beekeeper who expertly handled it and then got to throw out the first pitch.
That's one thing that he's done too, is he started to throw a sinker more because his four-seamer seems to get hit really hard. So he's got some pretty good movement. You think about the slider and the curveball going into lefties, that sinker's going away, his changeup's going away. He's got both sides.
Adam Beck said that Soto went around.
He went around and it was a strike too. So poetic justice.
So 1 and 2 on Soto, 4 for 10 in the first 3 games of the series. Now, Bradish missed the first month of the season with a right UCL sprain. You hear that, automatically go to Tommy John surgery, but he avoided the surgery and had platelet-rich plasma treatment instead. And here he is on the mound on May 2nd. Grounded into the glove of Mateo. 2 away. Time for the keys to the game, brought to you by your local Kia dealers.
Well, I think it's important that Rodon lets it fly. The Baltimore Orioles are hitting 175 with a 228 slug on fastballs over 95, and that's the second worst in the league, only behind the White Sox. Welcome back. Verdugo's back, and he was hot before he went on the paternity leave, hitting 333 over his last 19 games. Try to get even, 2-2, even Steven in this series.
Judge is thrown out as he grounds to Mateo up the middle, and the Yankees go down 1-2-3. Now wait a minute, they're calling everybody back. It had to be catcher's interference. The Orioles were leaving the field, but the home plate umpire said no, get back here.
You know, I found it odd how hard he was running, because that's not Aaron Judge. So he obviously knew that he had tipped it. He looked back. Sometimes when you let the ball get deep on you, that will happen. Catcher gets too close to the hitter.
I thought the same thing, Joe, when he was jogging the first. Not like him at all. So that's a catcher's interference, E2.
You think that's a product of trying to frame the ball as a catcher? It seems like we see more of those nowadays.
But not necessarily, because, David, they're going down and then back up, right? They're not going forward with their glove, so I don't think so. I think he was just probably a little bit too close to Aaron Judge. You know, Michael, I was concerned that he was hurt when he was running. I was like, oh, boy.
So here's Rizzo, who had a good series in Milwaukee, but 0 for 11 so far in this one. And let's be honest, you can go up and down both of these orders. Everyone's had a rough series. The pitching's been great.
Fantastic. I mean, Soto's the only one that's really had a good series. Rutschman's has been pretty good. Cabrera has not been bad. Teams are hitting 172, the Yankees, and the Orioles 176 coming into this game for these 3 games.
1-2 on Rizzo. Just nip the glove.
Yeah. As a hitter, though, you feel it right away, and as a catcher, you know, and you try to sell it and act like nothing happened. You usually don't win. Hit him.
And that one hit him. Quite a rally.
It's a head scratcher if you're Bradish out there. He's like, what's going on here?
Torres. Glaber 2 for 11 in the series, first 3 games. First and second. Catcher's interference and a hit by pitch. 2 outs.
A lot of times when you're struggling, it's good to see a pitcher that you've had some success off. He's 4 for 7. Sometimes it just makes you feel better about yourself, and you're not thinking about where your hands are or what my, you know, when do I start? It just comes natural and you get back on track.
Bradish finished 4th in the American League Cy Young voting behind Cole, Gray, and Gausman. First Orioles starter to finish in the top 4 since Mike Messina was second to Pedro Martinez, 1999. Just missed. 3-1.
If you say so. Perfect pitch.
And tried to catch that barehanded and now shaking the hand.
When you think about what this inning has done with the catcher's interference and maybe the hit by pitch, it's extended him. And he's thrown 20 pitches already. And he's probably only got 80 for the day because of coming off rehab.
Now that number will go a bit higher as Torres works a walk to load the bases for Alex Verdugo. Verdugo got into Baltimore at 7 a.m. today. That's why he's not batting cleanup. As Boone said, I want to ease him in a bit, but so he was in Arizona, took the red eye back. Wonder how awake he is, but here he is in the lineup. Bases loaded in the first inning. Strike.
Good pitch.
Bradish deals.
Ooh, that was a delayed call right there.
I thought about it.
Yeah, I thought he was going to call it a ball.
So did Verdugo.
It's been a tough first inning back there.
Day game after night game?
What's the old saying? Flip a coin?
And you know, when you got both sides yelling at you, it's got to be hard to umpire because then you have to start to wonder, am I wrong?
Grounded foul. Well, he's playing to the scouting report. But I can't say he's
not been
friendly to anybody.
No, he's missed more strikes in this inning than called balls out of the strike zone.
Yeah, I'm not sure he's given a pitch yet, and he's missed a couple.
Grounded to first. Mountcastle takes it himself. And 4 hits in his last 24 at-bats. And a strike. Now, Joe, in your keys to the game, you mentioned the Orioles' numbers against 95-plus fastballs. Very low, which I find curious. This is a young team. You don't get to the big leagues if you can't hit fastballs. What do you think is going on?
Well, it might be a team that focuses more on hitting the breaking balls, since more teams throw more breaking balls than fastballs. I mean, you look at the Red Sox, and they're in the 30% range in fastballs. The Cubs are the highest, about 54. So why wouldn't you focus on the breaking ball if that's what you're going to see the most of?
1-2 on Henderson.
And I would say it's hard to argue with what they're doing, as they're leading baseball in home runs and top 5 in runs scored. So offensively, they've done very well.
We got him on the slider. Adley Rutschman takes a strike. He has not unleashed a good fastball yet. He's at 92 with his fastball.
Good curveball there. They thought that was a strike, maybe a little bit outside. But you think about this Orioles team and how many left-handed hitters they have in their lineup. They have some switchers. They've actually been better against left-handed starters from an OPS standpoint this year. So a lot of guys really hit left-handers, this being one of them. Adley Rutschman.
On the field before the game, really hot. Told you on the weather that it feels like 95. It's pitcher's weather.
Ball looks like it's going to be carrying too. I mean, it's hard to tell whether the wind swirls here and it picks up or it carries, but certainly out to right, it's carrying.
Did he go? Yes, he did. Rutschman down on strikes. 2 strikeouts, 2 away.
Just buries another slider. And you see, once Rutschman commits, he cannot stop.
So, Coney, I would ask you, when you face a team that doesn't walk, what's your initial thought?
Just expand. Just throw just enough strikes to get to let them know that you can throw strikes, and then expand all day long. Challenge them to hit your pitch.
Mountcastle takes outside. One and one. Mountcastle hitless in his last 13 at bats. On this homestand for the Orioles, they lost 2 of 3 to the A's. Now they're trying to take 3 out of 4 from the Yankees. Yankees looking for the split. Ground ball to third. Cabrera. And a 1-2-3 inning for Carlos Rodon.
Trying to throw it, so he gave Cabrera a lot of credit, even though it was down a little bit, but it was inside corner. First pitch, he just kind of beat him to the spot and kept it fair.
And he didn't really know where he hit it. I think he thought he popped it up, because as you watch him run into the bases, he kind of put his hands out like, where is it? Pretty good sinker there, too. I tell you, the pitching in this series has been, the bullpens have been fantastic. Starting pitching has been great on both sides.
Mountcastle flips to Bradish. 1 away.
So as you watch this home run, he's going to take a couple steps and kind of put his hands out. He's not sure where it is. I think he lost it. And then he found it, and then he could kind of jog and enjoy it.
And Joe, I actually spoke to Oswaldo after the game, and he said he knew he had hit it hard and thought he had enough, but had no idea where it went. He didn't know if it was foul or fair, and still didn't realize that it was stuck in that netting out there in right field until the guys in the dugout kind of explained to him exactly what happened. Aaron Boone, on the other hand, he knew he had it the whole time.
Well, you know what that tells me? That he kept his head down really well and couldn't find the baseball. It used to happen to Paul O'Neill all the time, and we would have to yell at him in the dugout to run because he didn't know where the ball was. So, and that was a beautiful piece of hitting right there.
One and one on Wells. Wells 7 for 16 and 3 walks during that stretch. Serve the other way. Cowser right there to make the play.
It's good outfield positioning right there. Left fielder, I mean, I thought for sure that's dunking in there. And I think more than anything defensively, Major League Baseball teams, their positioning is better than ever, especially outfield.
They have so much data, and you look at a lot of times the infield will be to pull, the outfield will be the opposite way, because balls in the air usually go the opposite way. He was over towards the line and in, and right in the right spot.
Grisham really in his longest stretch of extended play. The Yankees hoping that unlocks him a little bit offensively. And usually every series, Boone likes to give Judge a DH day, which means that Stanton's going to sit, and they'll play Grisham in center.
Just get Danny right here, right? Oh, yeah, it does.
If you did that to Ken Kaiser, your day is ruined.
There were days I would be catching that. You're playing every day and don't always feel like you're awake back there. And the first thing, second, and you get a foul tip like that, you're awake. You're like, okay, here we go, game on.
Three and one on Grisham, 9th batter for the Yankees. Volpe is on deck. Henderson shades up the middle. 3-2.
He seems to really get in a lot of these long counts, and this is just a high sinker, right? That just kind of, when it's up, it's going to have just the tail. When it's down, it's going to have the tail and the sink. Sometimes those are balls that hitters can hit really hard.
Swing and a foul ball. McCann could not hold on. Strike 3. Grisham down looking. Santander leads off the bottom of the second. Takes a strike. Rodon deals. And a strike, 0-2.
Rodon, a classic north-south style pitcher, that high fastball and that buried slider. Although he can get some lateral movement on that slider, and he can get it down and in on the back foot of a righty.
Fastball now up to 96.
I believe that's the first one that's been over 95. So starting to get a little loosened up, Coney.
2-2. 3-2.
It's interesting what he tried to do there. He tried to throw a fastball up and away and then backdoor the slider so it comes out of the same slot and you give up. He just never got back to the plate.
Skied into center field. Grisham coming on. He's going to dunk into left center for a base hit. So a single for Son.
Throughout this contract that he signed with the Yankees.
There's Westberg.
It's so important when you encourage players to do something that they have success. And you look at the numbers off the curveball, the numbers off the changeup. He's having success, so he's going to do it more. He's going to be willing to do it.
Served into right field. It's a base hit in front of Soto. Santander stops at second, so a couple singles to start off the second.
Well, the first changeup he threw, and he kind of left it right there. And that's good hitting. You don't roll over it. You stay on that changeup and drive it the other way on your super shot. That's well done. Excellent hitting.
So the one thing that seems to, like, in my mind, happens, pitchers that throw four-seamers that cut a little bit, or they throw a lot of sliders, sometimes they have a hard time getting the changeup to go the other way. And that changeup cut, and that's probably why it got hit.
Yes.
Yankees expecting bunt from Mateo. He does not square. Takes a pitch outside, 1-0.
It's probably why he might not throw one for a while now, too. I mean, that's a problem with pitchers. You know, you're trying to work in a third or fourth pitch, and it gets whacked, and you put it in your back pocket.
Fouled away.
Yeah, and a lot of times when you get in a situation like this, first and second, nobody out, you're going to say, I'm just going with my strengths right here, and I'll worry about that other stuff later.
Yes.
Fastball, slider. Think about throwing it a little bit more down and in to see if you can get a chase and a strikeout. So as a pitcher, could you follow swings well, or did you just rely on your catcher?
A little bit. I mean, I trusted my catcher, you know, obviously, especially when I had somebody that you know, there was a trust, you know, repertoire built up. But absolutely, you'd read the ball.
And that hit him. At least Mateo saying it hit him. Dan Iasonia said it didn't. And the Orioles are going to challenge.
Ball on the field is no hit by pitch. Baltimore is challenged.
And it looked like it just grazed the tip of his toe, his right toe, in the front of his foot.
But you really look for change of direction if it did. I mean, his initial reaction suggested either he's a great actor or that he thought it hit his toe or felt something.
There's a strike from Rodon.
I think Kowser's going through what a lot of young players go through, where his first 17 games he hit 400, and he's been really struggling because the league adjusts to you. And as a young hitter, you got to close holes up and make adjustments as they're adjusting to you. Last 12, he's hitting 143.
He did not go. David, you're a pitcher, bases loaded, nobody out. Are you thinking, okay, I'll give up one run, or you still have the mindset, I'm not giving up a run?
I'm still pitch to pitch and in the count here. If I can get ahead in the count, then a strikeout pitcher will go for a strikeout. So it's sort of count dictated. Trying to keep the ball on the ground, too, if possible.
Good slider.
I wrote down K double play right here because you have the lefty up, you have a better chance of K-ing him than maybe McCann, and then he's a catcher, so catchers were made to hit in double plays.
Let's see if you're prescient.
He's definitely thinking strikeout here. Lefty on lefty and count leverage.
Two and two. And the pitch. Swing and a miss. Cowser down on strikes.
Well done. Talk about reading the bat. He took the previous slider, and this is up to 98 right on by. So excellent sequence of pitches. Excellent execution right on by. The best fastball of the day so far.
Cowser looked at his hand too after that swing. We'll see if he comes back out. So here's McCann, bases loaded, 1 out. And there's a strike on the outside corner, 0-1. Fly ball down the right field line. On the run is Soto into the corner. And it's out of play. So quickly 0-2.
That's what you love to see from your pitcher. Rodon really kind of reach back for a little extra when you get in a jam here. Joe noticed that there's 99 miles an hour in that last fastball.
It's got to be his hardest one of the year. I mean, that's a really good sign.
And the pitch. Swing and a miss on a slider. And McCann down on strike, so 2 away. And that brings up McKenna.
Just outstanding. Coming off of his best fastball, bury it, go for another strikeout. Good smother by Wells back there. Bases loaded, nobody out. Bases loaded, 2 out now.
That is drilled to left field. Right there is Verdugo. And Rodon works out of a
And Essien is a manager's young player, and he taught me so much about calling pitches, about you miss the curveball, you come back with it, you get it going. Those situations, he'd always say, give him 1, don't give him 2. Because we can recover from single numbers. You don't recover from crooked numbers. He gave him 0.
Yes, he did, and he showed some guts too.
And the fact that he got to 99 just tells me how good he feels, that he knows he's got a little bit more in the tank. He knows he can't do that for 7 innings, but when I need it, it's there, and that has to be a really good feeling for a pitcher.
Yeah, that's impressive.
2-1 on Volpe. Volpe struck out in the first inning. 3 for his last 26. Boone was asked about Volpe before the game today. He said, I still think his approach is good. His swings have been good. And then was asked, would you drop him out of the leadoff spot? He said, well, everything is under consideration, but let's all get healthy, and then we'll see where we stand then. They're obviously waiting on DJ LeMahieu, and he was penciled in to be the leadoff guy. And Volpe got off to such a great start, batting lower in the order, but Gleyber Torres really struggled leading off. Then he was dropped. Volpe was moved up. And is it a coincidence that he started to struggle at that point, or did the league start to catch up a bit? 2-2.
I just think it's part of what most hitters go through. Soto's so consistent in what he does and has so good mechanically, you don't see him going through those type of stretches. But for most hitters, you're going to go through stretches, and he's still better about hitting the ball the other way. He's still better about getting on base, not striking out as much. And how many people have hit in this series? Not too many. I mean, he's had 12 or 13 at bats, so that's some of the 26. He hit a bullet the other day to the third baseman to lead off the game. Nothing to show for it.
We're in the 3rd inning, 0-0. Final game of this 4-game set. Grounded inside third and down the left field line. Volpe rounds first. He'll go to second. Cowser plays it out there, and Volpe has a leadoff double here in the third.
Yeah, that's an outstanding at bat because that's on a good breaking ball that's down in the zone. He's able to hook it down the third baseline for an easy double to set the Yankees up with their best hitter so far this year in Juan Soto with nobody out.
Right over the bag.
This Kyle Bradish guy is pretty good too. I mean, I think about the starting pitching that has taken place in this series. Wow, has it been impressive?
So just a lot of quality pitches.
Here's Soto. Chased the pitch high. Looking to go to Utah Street again.
He likes that high ball.
Talked about him being a good first pitch hitter if he likes it. Now this one he chased a bit, but you could tell he's looking to launch. Looking for a fastball, got it, and maybe chased uncharacteristically.
It looked like a little bit of Reggie right there, didn't it? Back knee.
Yes.
0-2 on Soto.
I always say this is where the at bat starts now. He's got 2 strikes. You should say that about Gardy too. He's going to battle you.
There is just no panic when he gets down 2 strikes, especially 0-2. It's like, okay. So many hitters, when you get them 0-2, man, you're in the driver's seat as a pitcher. They get defensive, not Soto.
I think it's important that Volpe kind of lets him hit and doesn't dance around too much out there. A lot of hitters don't like that. I don't know if Soto's one of those guys, but you don't want that distraction because you're right in that line of the pitcher's arm, the hitter, the plate, and where he is. So Henderson's right behind him. If he gets a single, you're going to score because of your speed.
He's pointing at something over the green. Strike 3. Soto down looking. Oriole fans didn't like Soto from his time with the Nationals, and they are really giving it to him.
It's a really good pitch. A 2-seamer running back to the inside corner. Just a razor blade 2-seamer.
Were they talking about the watch on the police officer?
It looked like the watch that was shining.
Yeah, you can see it every once in a while when he turns it.
Judge with a fly ball to left. Cowser is there. Volpe remains at second. Because the gentleman in the white shirt sat right back down.
Yeah, and he's getting texted because we're getting all over him. But yeah, it wasn't him. It's the watch.
So here's Rizzo. One 1-0. He was hit by a pitch in the first inning. We're in the third. You know, Todd Frazier, who's part of our pre and post game crew, yes, he's saying that he also doesn't like the glinting off the badge. Well, that's what bothers him the most off the watch, the sun off the watch.
What a shot that is. Wow.
Looks like Iron Man.
Who got that shot? That's impressive.
One and two.
Kind of quick pitched him there a little bit, changes his timing. Who would have known that watch that he put on in the morning was going to be such a problem?
Looped into left field. It's a base hit. Kowser fields. Here comes Volpe. Here's the throw. Bad throw. Up the first base line. Gets by everybody. Volpe scores. Moving to second is Rizzo. And the Yankees lead 1-0.
Rizzo gets jammed. Looked like a sinker that he tried to front hipping on. Didn't get it there. Gets jammed. Great jump by Volpe. There's 2 strikes. You're going on any swing. Kowser kind of airmails it towards their dugout. It allows Rizzo to get to second base, but just an outstanding hit by Rizzo, his first hit of the series, and it came at a great time.
That he was headed there, even if it didn't go in?
No.
Torres. Now, was that considered going in?
Oh, that's in. Got the cameraman. It's going to leave a mark.
Yeah, I believe it didn't go in because of the screen, and if it hits the screen, that's considered going in.
Well, we're covering some ground here. We got screens, we got rules, we got watches. Got a lot going on here.
I think Apple has to step up with a sponsorship. I mean, we just showed the watch for an inning.
Nonetheless, good job by Rizzo in an RBI situation to break down his swing, get contact any way you can, and get rewarded.
Check swing. First base umpire Ben May said he went, and Torres can't believe it. Looks back at the dugout, throws his head back in disgust.
Get a better look at it here. I don't think he went on that.
Even I'm skeptical.
Yeah, then he didn't go. Also good base running by Rizzo on that play just to go to second, because you know if he makes a good throw, there could be a play at home. You're encouraging them to cut it off so there is no play at home, and to try to get you in a rundown. They didn't, and it worked out. Rizzo's in scoring position.
2-2. 3-2 on Glaber. Chopped over Bradish. Mateo fields, and that'll do it. But not before the Yankees scored at Mountcastle. 1-2-3. And it's a strike. You know, the Rodon that we're seeing this year so far is the one that the Yankees signed. The one that pitched for the Giants the year before, and then previous to that with the White Sox. Last year, everything that could go wrong did go wrong. Health betrayed him. Didn't get back till midseason. Tried to do too much and really had a bad year. He was determined. Got to Tampa in January. Put the work in, and it shows now.
Yes.
Popped up. Cabrera makes the play.
He's had a number of those plays where he's had to run a long way to make catches, and this is tough because you have to stop, because if not, you're going to run into a brick wall. And he does a really good job. Really good breaking ball by Rondon. And it's interesting to me. Look at that fence. That hurts when you run into it, but he took 2 fastballs, and he's had a lot of success off of lefties on breaking balls this year. 7 for 18. It's almost like he's just sitting on it and waiting for it. And if you make a pitch in the zone, he's got a pretty good swing on it. If you expand, he'll probably chase.
See Wells get way down there too?
Yeah. Youth. That's a young catcher.
Driven into center field. Grisham hauls it in for the second out.
Well, that's just a right turn. You hit a bullet. I mean, just an absolute seed right at Grisham.
Coney, what would you be yelling at him? Hanging with him? Go sit down?
Hang with him. It's an out. So that was a rocket.
There's Mountcastle.
John Zimmer would always say to Paul O'Neill, right, when he would line out like that and come and slam his helmet in the dugout, he'd say, "You hit it good, kid, but go sit down." O'Neill would then slam a few more things and go take care of the water bucket.
High fly ball, deep right center. Grisham back on the track at the wall. See ya, tie game. Home run, Mountcastle.
Well, we knew on a warm day the ball would carry if you got it up, and now we know for sure. As Rodon, as you can tell by the look on his face, is like a little stunned. This is a slider that stays right kind of down and out over the plate, and Mountcastle's got that kind of power and that kind of bat speed. And once he gets it lofted, it jumps.
If you look at the flags, Coney, you're so right. It's blowing right towards that right center wall, right towards the MedStar Health. Out in right field. It just took off.
And Santander gets plunked. Second hit by pitch. Mateos did not hurt as much as this one.
It's just an over adjustment. You know, you gave up a home run on a slider you left on the plate, and you're not going to do that again, and you doink him in the foot.
So here is Jordan Westberg, runner on first, 2 men out. One and 0.
Now, we talk a lot about Gunnar Henderson, and rightly so. Great shortstop, but this guy to me is he stands out to me, Joe. The way he moves around the field defensively and a good bat. His last at bat, he really stayed on that Rodon changeup and hit it the other way. I thought it was just an excellent piece of hitting. He didn't roll over it, didn't pull a foul.
And he's a kid that looks like he's getting used to his surroundings, because he's hitting 14 of the last 16 games and went from 216 to over 300. And what's incredible to me is he plays second and third. He's made one error in 140 games.
Yeah, he's good defensively, good speed.
If I got a knock on him, he likes to get picked off or make it really close.
Just 25 years old. And he said what he's doing, the stance he worked on this offseason, trying to blend Jordan Westberg and Gunnar Henderson. Did he go? Yes, he did. Westberg down on strikes. But the Orioles. And that one's under the glove of Mateo, allowing Verdugo to reach. Probably score that a hit.
It was hit hard, 105 miles an hour off the bat, a curveball from Bradish. Mateo was there, coming in hot. You be the judge.
And they gave him a hit. Cabrera takes low, 1-0. See if they turn 2. There's 1. And there's 2.
It's deep into counts.
Coming alive.
And Michael, I walked into the Yankees clubhouse today and saw in Austin Wells' locker there was a gold pair of boxing gloves. I doubled back to Wells and said, "What's that about? Did you just get them?" And he smiled and said, "I got them yesterday." I said, "Well, what are they for?" Well, apparently it's kind of a team award and not given to the guy that has the most hits or the best batting average or the best OPS. It's all about quality at bats. So for the month, he holds the boxing gloves in the locker.
Nice.
And
The best fight.
The luck finally turning his way, right? 7 hits over his last 5 games.
Three and 1 on Wells. Bradish deals. Now 3 and 2. Meredith, who got the boxing gloves in the booth for the 4-game set?
Michael, you're the star. You're the one that has a plaque here, right?
If a man has a plaque, he gets the gloves, I guess.
Fly ball, left field. Cowser puts it away. There's no plaque except on my team. Deep to left field, going back Verdugo, still back. See ya! A home run over the high wall and left. A long blast, and it's 2-1-0s. Man, did he crush that.
Well, we've talked about how aggressive this Baltimore Oriole team is. And when you're a guy that does throw a lot of four-seamers, you're going to sell out a lot of times on the first pitch, and that's looks like what Jorge Mateo did.
Here's Cowser. Swings at the first pitch and swings through at 0-1. A little hydration. After the game, the Orioles head to Cincinnati, a 3-game weekend set with the Reds. Try to stop them from running, especially Ellie De La Cruz. And the Yankees will host the Detroit Tigers at the stadium starting tomorrow night. The Reds are on pace to break every stolen base record for a team in baseball history.
They had 52 at the end of April. Not sure how many they've had this week.
You look around the league in the Midwest. Cleveland, Kansas City, Cincinnati,
Milwaukee,
all teams, exciting teams to watch.
Strike 3. Cowser down looking.
Yeah, the home run by Mateo. This is a ball that's just middle, thigh high right down the middle, and he jumps all over it. And he's done a really good job against lefties this year. Coming into the game, he was hit 286. He's been on base twice today, hit by pitch, and that home run.
425 feet when it lands.
McCann takes low, 1-0. Since moving that wall back, there are no cheapies anymore, so you really have to hit it. He did. Grounded to third. 2 down. We're in the 4th inning. It's 2-1-0s. There's Ryan McKenna. McKenna was called up last Friday. He got called up when Jackson Holliday was sent back down to the minors. He went back and forth to AAA 5 times last year. 27 years old.
Tell you what, I respect those players a lot because that's not easy. It's one thing to be in AAA, but as soon as you get a taste of the big leagues, you never want to go back. And you know how good it is up here, but these guys just persevere. A couple of years ago, he was up the whole year, and now with the influx of young talent, he's kind of lost his spot. Keeps grinding it out. I give him a lot of credit. It's not easy.
High fly ball, deep center. Grisham back on the track, leaps. See ya. A home run for McKenna, and it is 3-1-0s.
Yeah, you can see Rodon's body language. The ball is carrying, no doubt about it. That's a cutter, though, that's out over the middle of the plate and down. And this is why McKenna's here, to face left-handed starters like Rodon, and that's the big payoff for him. Just over Grisham's glove.
And with the injury to Austin Hayes, he's probably getting a chance to play, and he's making the most of his chances. He hit the ball hard in the 2nd inning. He was 1 for 1 coming in. It's just over the glove. Grisham.
Not sure if Grisham got hung up on the wall a little bit trying to go get this. It would have been an incredible play, but as he has it timed, you see Rodon can't believe that ball's just carrying. It just keeps going. Like Grisham hits his back on the wall right there, but I'm not sure he could have got that anyway.
It would have been a great catch, but I think he's capable of making it. I think he ran out of room before. He probably would have had to kind of vault off the wall and get way up. I mean, it would have been a 1% play, maybe.
Yeah. You get to the wall and then get up. You see, he kind of drifted and then banged against the wall that inhibited him from getting up.
Chopped to second. Henderson retired. But 2 home runs in the inning, 3 for the game. They lead the majors in
The bullpen. John Means is back. He's pitching, I think, on Monday. 7 or 8 starters that they have here.
There's a strike to Grisham.
With experience.
Yeah, John Means is a great story after his adversity and injury, and so well respected in there. He is a leader. If he comes back and gives them what they think he can, that's a difference maker.
Time is called. A beach ball out of the stands and onto the warning track in left field. I think it'll find the field again. You know, a lot has been said about moving the left field wall back as far as the Orioles did. So their social media platform cheekily put out that Mateo's home run would have been a home run in 30 of 30 ballparks.
Is that just for you?
I don't know. I feel honored if it is. Maybe I get another plaque, Joe.
Well, I told you, your words have meaning, Michael, and value.
You got to make that known in my house.
Well, hopefully they're listening today.
today, but I hope she is listening. It's my wife's birthday today.
Oh, happy birthday,
Jody.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you'll be home
Yep.
tonight. A little cake tonight.
1-2. Grisham down on strikes.
Michael, if I'm you, I'm sticking to Plaque.
One and one.
If you're Brandon Hyde, you have to be thrilled with your starter today here in the 5th inning. 75th pitch about to be delivered.
You know, I was just thinking that I don't think you could ask for more. If he can get through 5 and you get him up around 80 pitches, he was 77 in his last rehab start. But obviously, these are much more stressful pitches than you're throwing against the Gwinnett Braves, which was his last start. But this would be a really good sign for Bradish.
2-2 on Volpe. He doubled his last time up. Came around to score on Rizzo's single.
It's just a really high quality slider that he has. Just top shelf.
You know what we haven't seen a lot of, and you talked about how good the slider was. So it was the 11th ranked slider in all of baseball last year. His curveball we haven't seen, and that was 3rd ranked.
Yes.
I mean, when I watched video of him pitching, I was like, oh my goodness. It looks like it goes, stops, and goes straight down.
And that 2-seamer serving him well, because you mentioned before that 4-seamer wasn't.
Strike 3. Volpe down looking.
When you can locate a 2-seamer like this off of that good slider, you see the movement. It's off the plate and runs back. It's a ball until it's not a ball.
And by the time you realize it's not a ball, it's too late to pull the trigger as a hitter on a ball that's 94, 95 miles an hour.
Here is Soto. He's 0 for 2. 9-game hitting streak coming into this one. Sky the other way, down the left field line, giving chase is Cowser. Leaps, and he can't make the play as the ball caroms into left field. Soto round second. He's going for 3. The throw is not in time. It's a triple for Juan Soto. It's a 10-game hitting streak.
Yeah, we've talked about his power to all fields, left, center, right, and this is a ball he lets get deep. You see the extension that he gets. You see him back leg it. Almost gets it out of here. Cowser just jumps to the left of the ball. He's not sure where it is. He's looking to see if it went over. And Juan starts running about right now and realizes, uh-oh, this is trouble. He knew it was probably at least a double. He ends up a 3rd, which for Bradish, who has a great breaking ball, one gets by the catcher, he can score.
Well, Drew French, the pitching coach, will talk with Bradish, and the Oriole bullpen gets ready in a
Bad read.
It would have been a home run in every other ballpark in baseball except this one.
Well, that's off the wall that they created here to move the wall back.
Even a home run. I was thinking with Fenway's big wall, maybe not, but it's so deep down the left field line.
Yeah, it's funny you say that, though, because the pushback that I would get if that was what I said, well, just run hard until you know it's gone. What difference does it make on the read?
Yeah, well, I know, but these guys are out here every day. And look, I'm all about hustle and playing hard, and it was something that I prided myself. This guy's out there every day. He plays hard. If it was something that he didn't play hard, then I might say something to him. But I watch how hard he plays every day and how he posts every day, and I have a ton of respect for that as a manager.
And that's literal. He played every game last year. He's played every game this year. 2-1. 3-1. And Judge walks. That'll bring up Rizzo. So first and third for the Yankees with 2 outs. Well, fans, go to Yes Network on Yes on X and vote for the Montefiore Einstein Player of the Week. Is it 1, Juan Soto, number 2, Aaron Judge, and number 3, Anthony Rizzo. And that is going to do it for Bradish. Great comeback performance off the IL, missing the first month of the season. He looked outstanding. He's going to get a standing ovation here at Oriole Park. And the pitch to Rizzo is low and away, 1-0. Saw Keegan Aiken earlier in the series. This is his 15th game. 19 strikeouts, 13 and 2/3 innings. Big cut, 1-1. Well, Bradish can't get the win, but he did pitch very well.
See the righty-lefty splits there, and why Brandon Hyde wanted Aiken in this spot. Rizzo got the 2-out RBI in his previous at-bat.
1-2. First and third, 2 men out. Yankees trail by 2. We're in the top of the 5th inning. Soto's at third. Judge is over at first. The cleanup hitter, Anthony Rizzo, at the plate. Popped up in the infield. Henderson makes the play, and Aiken comes on and does the job. We're halfway through. Yankee Strikeout brought to you by Audi and the 2024 Audi Q5. Visit your local tri-state Audi dealer today. Start off the bottom of the 5th with a strike to Rushman. 3-1-0s. 4th game of this series. Oh and 2. All 3 runs for the Orioles coming via the home run. Solo shots by Mountcastle, Mateo, and McKenna. Did he go? No.
I didn't even think he went that far. Went farther than I thought. Coney, I think that's a strike.
You know my rule. It's the plane of home plate. The front of home plate is like the end zone. The front and the bat head crosses the front of home plate. That's my thinking.
2-2. It'll be Rushman, Mountcastle, and Santander.
So I wonder what Paul O'Neill would say about your theory.
He wouldn't like it.
Grounded inside third and down the left field line. Rushman goes to second with a leadoff double.
I mean, this ball's not even a strike, and he kind of digs it, about ankle high off the ground and is able to hit it by the third baseman as the ball's coming in, so it's going to speed up his bat, and he hits it down the line. And what's been somewhat impressive to me is how he plays every day because he doesn't catch every day. But he's been really successful as a DH, and a lot of times it takes players a long time. And you think about a guy that's so into a game when he's catching that you would think that he would be thinking too much when he was DHing and not concentrating enough on just his at-bats.
Mountcastle fouls it back.
He's got this DH thing figured out way too quickly.
Joe, did you ever DH?
Come on, Michael.
No.
I don't think so.
Line drive, and it's past a lunging Torres into right center. Soto cuts it off beautifully. The run will score. But Mountcastle held it first because of Soto sliding and cutting the ball off. It's 4-1 O's.
Well, there's not a lot of chase in Mountcastle's game, but he does chase a high fastball and gets on top of it and does a really good job of pushing it the other way, and it seems to be his approach. Carlos said, I'm going to take you right through the center of the field, and is rewarded with another single and an RBI.
Boy, go upstairs and get on top of that and hit a bullet. That ball's out of the zone. Up.
The last 2 hits have not been strikes.
Runner goes.
We got whacked. He should send the runner back.
That was on the backswing. And they will send the runner back.
Mountcastle has 1 stolen base this year. Freddie Gonzalez, the bench coach, checking to see if he got hit.
Well,
foul ball.
That was a foul ball.
Yeah.
Oh, it didn't get hit.
Mask.
Yeah.
Foul ball off the mask.
Ooh, that was a bad one, too.
Joey looked it up. 0 career starts at DH.
Yeah. I didn't have to look it up, Michael. Now, I would bet, though, that I did it maybe 1 time in the minor leagues. But big leagues. Had been a lot of people with the flu that week.
Joe, that triple off of Maddox is the only hit you really need to get.
That's right.
And you were chugging. That was not a catcher running.
It's one of the first times I saw the upper deck literally shaking at the old Yankee Stadium, where you visibly see it and you're like, oh my gosh.
See a little extra added there, Coney. 98. Seen that a couple times today.
He's done that throughout his starts this year, where he's actually gained some velocity throughout the game, and we saw him in the bases loaded jam early, kind of turn it up a notch when he needed it.
Well, actually, that's been his DNA this year. 94.8 the first time through, 95.5 the second, and 95.9 the third time through the lineup.
Nice play by Volpe. The ball bobbled, regained. No, it's dropped. So everybody is safe.
Volpe makes a nice stop, and you're probably not going to get 2 here, so you should probably just try to secure the baseball. He's probably trying to make a play that they're not capable of making. They understand the importance of the game. They're trying to do it quick. He's probably caught it 1,000 times bare hand, but not this time, and it leads to an E4, and now runners on first and second.
So Matt Blake will go out and talk with Rodon. You know, it's weird. Here's Westberg. 1-0. Did he go? Yes, he did. 1-1.
You know, I would think that umpires going into a game where Carlos is pitching, you'd say, you know, there's going to be a lot of check swings. Guy at first, you got to be prepared for it. I've seen it 6, 7, 8 maybe today. That slider that goes down and in, gets so many of them.
Yes. Slider down and in, and if you're playing third base, you got to be ready too, like Andy Pettit's days when he pitched and Scott Brocious.
The 2-1 line drive. It's a base hit to left center. Mountcastle scores easily. The ball goes all the way to the wall. Here comes Santander. He'll score. It's a triple. 2 runs batted in for Westberg. And the Orioles lead 6-1.
You kind of see the wind and Rodon's sails kind of leave him in this inning. This is one of the few sliders he's left up and out over the plate, and we've talked about Westberg. What kind of a ball player this kid is. Splits the gap, and he's going to end up on third base and clear the bases.
Now as 20 will bring the infield in as Marinaccio deals the ball. That's Rodon's line. The runner at third is his responsibility.
He gives you a little bit different look than what the starter had. Obviously not as much power, more slow stuff. Changeup's outstanding. Right-handed opposed to left-handed.
In the seats and out of play. Cows are on deck. Line to left field. Verdugo dives to make the play. Tagging is Westberg. Score easily. It's a sac fly from Mateo. And another run for the Orioles.
Mateo's had a good day. Swung the bat exceptionally well. The big home run, and now the RBI on this bullet. Excellent play by Verdugo.
Yeah, not only has he swung the bat great the last 20 games, he's also played an outstanding defense. A couple outs above average. And you look at what the Yankees had the last 3 or 4 years in left field, they were minus 24 outs above average.
Probably have to go back to Brett Gardner to have good defense in left field.
Yes. Should see a heavy dose of changeups here because he struggled so bad in the big leagues with him. You got to get it over the plate. It's almost kind of going up instead. He's got to get on top of it.
And another Orioles hit. Third one.
Just hangs on to this changeup and yanks it down and in. And if you're going to get hit, that's a good way. On the bounce, on the bottom of the shoe.
On the back foot.
Yes.
I don't know if I've ever seen that.
Skipping rope.
Here's McCann.
Oh, that's the second one today. You start to worry about catchers when they get multiple ones in the games. Good job by Dan Iasonia, the home plate umpire, to walk out there and give him some time.
That's an old school mask, though, right? I mean,
yes. I always thought they protected you better. I do like the ones that have the springs on them now. I'd like to see what that was like to use.
like shock absorbers, right?
Yes.
You know, moving forward, as you look at roster construction and the Yankees bullpen and how well they pitched, be interesting to see when the time comes if they can add a swing and miss guy for their bullpen. You know, Clay Holmes, outstanding stuff, but more of a sinker guy.
Well, if he throws his breaking ball like he did last night, he's going to have a lot more swing and miss, because that was as good as breaking balls I've seen him have. Whether he calls it a curveball or a slider, I would call it a curveball with the amount of depth that it had.
Slurvy, yeah. Be interesting to see if they can find a K guy to, you know, on down the road.
Grounded to third. There's one. On to first. It's a double play, and that'll end the inning.
Well, I mentioned those Midwest teams. Throw the Tigers in there too. Guardians, Royals, Tigers, Brewers.
Just waiting for Bears. Oh my.
Yes. Bears got a new quarterback.
Yeah, they do.
1-2 on Gleyber Torres. Aiken came on to get the final out of the fifth. Now the O's lead by 6, 7-1. High fly ball. Deep left center, going back. McKenna on the track at the wall. There it is. Finally the home run that he's been looking for, and it's 7-2 Yanks. "53 games since his last home run."
That's really hard to believe with a guy that has 20 home run power that he would go that long. 137 at bats. This was the 138th at bat. Luis Ariz, the only guy with more, but that has to be a great feeling, and maybe that's what really gets him going. I mean, he's driven some balls on this road trip better, and again, I don't make too much of this series because nobody's hit.
He had 25 home runs last year, so his first home run on May 2nd of this season. And it had to be weighing on him. This is his contract year. He's going to be a free agent at the end of the season. Two and one.
One of the Yankee hitters finally got one up in the breeze today. Take advantage of what we've seen. It's a good day to hit, and the ball's carrying.
How much did you pay attention to the weather on your starts? Like wind direction, the ball's carrying?
At Wrigley Field, a lot. You definitely were aware of it.
And Verdugo walks.
You see the home run. It's like a fastball that he's trying to go in. He doesn't get it quite far in enough, or maybe he's trying to go up. It's kind of like some of the home runs that we've seen, about thigh high in the middle part of the plate. That's a long home run too. That's not a cheapie.
418 feet when it lands.
Oh and 1 on Oswaldo Cabrera. He's 0 for 2.
You know, I've noticed he started to hit against left-handers right-handed more than he did in the beginning of the year. Has he had an at-bat against a lefty where he's hit left recently? I haven't seen it.
Recently, I can't recall.
No. I mean, maybe he's going back to full time.
I know that he batted left-handed against Josh Hader, but that was the opening series of the year.
And that was over a month ago.
Yep. I think he has done it since then, but not recently. Up the middle, Gunnar Henderson fields and turns that into a double play. Very smooth.
Looked like a hit for a minute. Turned into a twin killing.
Yeah, you're right, Michael. That was really smooth. No panic. Got time, got time. Everything was in front of him. Knew he didn't need the second baseman.
The 38th double play the Yankees have hit into this year, which is unreal.
It's on pace to break the all-time record in 1990 by the Red Sox at 174.
It is shocking. I don't really have a reason for it. I know some of that's random. It's the luck. Hitting the ball on the ground too much. There's a lot of variables involved, but that number just is startling.
Fly ball center field. McKenna puts it away. That'll do it. But Gleyber Torres fills the home run column. Cedric Mullins pinch hits for McKenna and pops it up to shallow left, and Volpe makes the play. Tell me, manager's thinking there. You're up 7-2.
Yeah, I was thinking about that too.
McKenna just hit a home run.
It lined out.
I mean, do you really need to pinch hit right there?
Well, I know Mullins is an outstanding center fielder, and you know the importance of this game. And he's trying to win this game, make sure they win this game. But, you know, sometimes you wonder how it affects the player, especially a player that's been struggling. You know, does he get upset? But I'm sure it's happened a number of times, and he probably told him when the day started, if this happens, you're going to do this and this, and be ready. And players get prepared. But some players aren't necessarily happy when that happens, and you have to sometimes talk them off the ledge a little bit.
Bottom of the 6th inning, 7-2, Orioles over the Yankees. Marinaccio on in relief of Carlos Rodon.
To me, it's a real slippery slope sometimes with the way you deal with days off with players, because you have a responsibility to the club, the organization, and everybody else to win the game.
Yes, win this game right here, and Mullins in this game helps them. Like you said, defensively. And then also, you know what? It's 5 runs here. He's still some at-bats left, so certainly understand what Brandon Hyde's saying, but the human element that you're making, Michael, the point you made is certainly well taken.
Swing and a miss. Henderson 0 for 4 with 2 strikeouts. Hey, tomorrow night on Yes, the Yankees win. His double started the 4-run 5th inning. And a strike from Marinaccio.
For the life of me, I don't know how he does that. I don't know how he just takes the first pitch. It spots you a strike.
Didn't Boggs always do that?
Yeah, Boggs. Mike Piazza at times. A real low percentage of first pitch swings.
High fly ball, deep right, spinning around one way is Soto. He's on the track. He makes the play, and Marinaccio works a 1-2-3 inning. Now here in Baltimore, Joe, they say, well, that cost them the series. Do you think the Yankees still win if that ball is caught?
I mean, that's kind of a silly question to ask someone who was playing on that team. Of course. But what am I going to say? No.
Well, that was a good Oriole team. But, I mean, it certainly that would not have ended the series, that game.
No, and we were a really good Yankee team.
We had an unreal record against them in the entire year, the whole regular season. I think we only lost 1 game.
Danny Coulombe is taken over on the mound.
And this is some herky-jerky stuff right here. It's probably not the mechanics that you would teach.
It is so interesting because he's extreme third base side of the rubber, and he really flies open. He almost ends up off the mound. It's really unique. He's an outlier. That creates some deception. It's not how you teach it, but he repeats it, and it serves him well.
Strike 3. Grisham has struck out 3 times.
Yeah, this is a good fastball. He paints the corner. And I always say pitching is about deception and location. however you get the deception, it could be right on your fastball, or it could be your windup, or how you hide the ball, arm angle. But those are the two most important things.
Yes, and the deception is the motion, obviously, that you're not used to, and you see him flying off. But he also brings the ball down behind his backside, too, as well. Watch the takeout right there. It's right there. But he doesn't show the ball till the release point. To take the ball out of his glove, and it's right behind his body. So you don't see it till right there when he releases it. And then see all that body movement, too.
I mean, it almost looks like he's falling over when he's throwing the ball, like he's leaning back. And that's something you don't teach, that lean back, because usually when you lean back, the ball goes the opposite way. It's like going to go to the first base side.
It's like somebody pushed him in the middle of his delivery off the mound.
And I would see pitching coaches a lot of time put their hand in your back so you couldn't do that.
Yeah. He lands open, too. You know, usually pitchers land a little closed or directly in line. Watch where he lands, way open. There's nobody else in the big leagues that has those mechanics.
But it really works well for him. And he's got a number of pitches that have a number of different types of movements. I don't think he can throw a ball straight.
Slow ground ball. Henderson gets Volpe. 2 outs. See, Coulomb wears a blue glove, and he wears the blue glove for autism awareness. One and one. And somebody just got thrown out in the Yankee dugout. Looks like it could be James Rowson. They have not liked the strike zone all day. Yankee hitting coach has been ejected. Soto didn't like this strike call. Certainly wasn't egregious. Looked like it was a little bit low, but that seems more like a cumulative complaint. 1 and 2.
That's exactly right. It's been some chirping going on all day, really, on both sides.
One and 2 on Soto. Coulomb deals. 2 and 2. That foul ball just broke our camera. Three and 2.
He's so good at just waiting for a good pitch to swing at. It's remarkable to me.
Just sees the ball every time.
Line drive, a base hit. 2 hits for Soto. The triple, now a single. And during his 10-game hitting streak, he is 13 for 37.
His balance at the end of his swing is as good as anyone's I've ever seen. Just flat through the zone.
Will face Aaron Judge. 2 outs, 1 on here in the 7th. 0-1.
Since they acquired him, he went 129 straight hitters before giving up a home run a week ago Wednesday. That's pretty incredible. He's got a fantastic changeup. I think that sweeper was just for show.
He had a 4-out save on Tuesday, and that started with a strikeout of Judge. 30 years old, 5th big league season. And Judge goes down on strikes. No runs a hit, no errors by Ron Marinaccio. And a strike to Mountcastle. Mountcastle 2 for 3. Couple of ribbies. His 5th home run of the year in the 3rd. That home run tied the game at 1-1. One and 2. Swing and a miss. Mountcastle down on strikes, 1 away.
It's a really good sweeper that he has. Really effective on right-handed hitters. He's got that 3/4 arm angle, even almost sidearm. It has both. It has that depth and that sweep to it.
Yeah, a little short arm action too.
I tell you, I think he could be really valuable in this pen in multiple inning roles. And I talked about the other day about having a guy that shuts the door and gives you a chance to come back, and I think he could be that.
Santander has the jackknife out of the way.
That's the bat go flying. I love it. He's telling him, don't be diving. Don't be diving. Another one.
That's 3 off of Wells.
And those are 3 direct hits. People ask me, do I ever remember concussions? And because it wasn't really a thing when I was catching it, and I really don't. I think I had one in high school that as I look back, I think I had one, but I think I was pretty fortunate. Now, some other people may not think so, but
Does it give you a headache though when you get hit that many times in a game?
it can. I used to get migraines, and it could have been from foul tips, but I think mine was more from fatigue and other things, stress. But it's a concern. Like, I'm a little concerned about him. Cody, where you go? Cody, I'm having to hold you up again, for crying out loud.
I was brave at first, and then I chickened out at the end because it was really close.
It was coming in hot.
I'm like, I'm going to get it now. No, I don't want it.
That would have been great if I would have tipped over in my chair, knocked Meredith over, took the camera out. 2 cameras gone in one day because you were scared of a little white baseball.
My heart was in it, and then my head got involved.
It was like boom, boom. This had a great domino effect going. Okay, now what was that? His arm guard came off?
I think so.
Wow. Did he hit the arm guard with the bat too? Yeah, that's another strike.
Check out and follow Yes Network on TikTok for more content. You know who you reminded me of, David, when you started to bail? Fred Sanford.
Yeah.
I was expecting to call for Elizabeth.
Yeah. Come on.
This is one of my favorite shows as a kid.
Great. Red Fox. Oh, genius.
Center field, Grisham. Two down. Big cut by Westberg. That was the last batter that Rodon faced. Tripled into the gap in left center field to drive home 2. Westberg's 2 for 3. Grounded to third. Cabrera. And that'll do it. Tonkin retires. The Orioles in order. Watch it tomorrow at 11 after the postgame on Yes and the Yes app. Anthony Rizzo, 0-1. RBI single, 1 for 2, and was hit by a pitch. Yankees had a chance in the first inning to establish some dominance, had the bases loaded against Kyle Bradish, but Verdugo grounded out to first to end the threat. So they stranded 3. And Rizzo chases a pitch up in the zone, goes down on strikes. Rizzo 1 for 14 in this series. Here's Gleyber Torres hit his first home run since last September. Solo shot in the 6th to left center field. Fouls that one back, 0-1. Speaking of home runs, in 1876, first home run in Major League history was hit. Ross Barnes of the team that became the Cubs off Cherokee Fisher of the Reds.
And what was the name of the Cubs at that time?
Chicago White Stockings.
Yeah. That's a little confusing.
Also a very sad day in Yankee history. In 1939, Lou Gehrig benched himself in Detroit. Babe Dahlgren played first base. Yankees won 22-2, and Lou Gehrig never played again. 2-2. Well, Webb has looked really impressive. 3 strikeouts in a row.
Very confident on the mound, right down the middle. I mean, when you know a guy's got a good changeup and will throw it at any time, he can zing one right by you down the pipe.
Verdugo swings and misses. Soft ground ball, second base. Mateo gets the hustling Verdugo as the Yankees go down. Import 7-2 O's, bottom of the 8th. Mateo takes outside from Tonkin. Mateo 1 for 1, hit by a pitch. Sac fly, has 2 ribbies on the day. Orioles looking to take 3 out of 4 from the Yanks.
You look at this division, and obviously there's a long ways to go, but one of the ways you can secure winning the division is by winning in your division. The Orioles are 5-1 right now.
Line drive caught by Cabrera. He's played a good third base today.
And the Yankees are 6-6, so they played a few more games. There's a lot more to be played as you play 52 division games, but that's one way you can handle it.
The ball was smoked.
Little scissor kick there.
Strike to Cowser. He struck out twice and was hit by a pitch. There's that slider, 0-2. Orioles looking for their 20th win. They're 19-11. Yankees already got to 20. They're 20-12. But the Orioles came into today percentage points ahead of the Yankees for first place in the East. Swing and a miss. 2 away.
Catcher number 27, James McCann.
So here's James McCann. He is 0 for 3. Tonkin has retired all 5 Orioles he's faced in the count 0-1.
You know, part of the effectiveness of Tonkin is he's a tall dude out there, but his sidearm release point creates the deception.
He also seems to hide the ball pretty well, as his shoulders are not, like, his front shoulder's not right at the hitter. It's kind of towards the, I would say, the first base on deck circle. So he's kind of hiding the ball a little bit.
Hides the ball, and the release height's around 5 feet, a little over 5 feet.
Line into right field. Soto is right there. And a good 2 innings for Michael Tonkin. 6 up, 6 down to the Yankee order. Tough left-hander out of the Orioles pen. There was some question coming into the series. The weak part of the Orioles was their bullpen, but not this series. They pitched very well.
No, we've seen the underside of the bullpen as well, as we haven't seen Kimbrel at all. They've got some depth, more depth than they're giving credit for.
Crowd is 27,299 here on a beautiful Thursday afternoon.
Talking about the bullpens, the Yankees bullpen hasn't given up a run the whole 4 days, and the Orioles have only given up 1. Sounds like there's a lot of close games to be played between these two teams.
There's a strike to Oswaldo Cabrera, who's wrapped into 2 double plays. He's 0 for 3. High fly ball, left center. Mullins is there. Jose Trevino pinch hitting for Wells. Wells hit with 3 foul tips in this game. Flush. So you wonder if this is just a reset, give him some time in the clubhouse before the Yankees depart. But Trevino pinch hitting for Wells. Did he go? No.
Trevino played a brilliant game last night, caught a shutout, contributed offensively, is able to hold up, and we've seen a lot of those.
Last 11 games hitting 400, 14 for 35. Both Yankee catchers have been hot offensively of late. Three and two.
A pretty good looking pitch.
Swing and a miss. Trevino down on strikes. Yankees down to their final out.
We're off with the non-call. He's going to put a wrinkle on it. You get the swing and the miss. Great camera shot right there. You can see how the ball looks like it's coming right over the heart of the plate and dives.
Jahmai Jones is going to pinch hit for Grisham. One and 0. One and one. And the Yankees down to their final strike. Perez deals. 1 and 2. 7-2. Orioles lead the Yanks. Final game of this 4-game set. Swing and a miss, and that'll do it. In a statement 4-game set. of the Yankee order. Tough left-hander out of the Orioles pen. There was some question coming into the series. The weak part of the Orioles was their bullpen, but not this series. They pitched very well.
No, we've seen the underside of the bullpen as well, as we haven't seen Kimbrel at all. They've got some depth, more depth than they're giving credit for.
Crowd is 27,299 here on a beautiful Thursday afternoon.
Talking about the bullpens, the Yankees bullpen hasn't given up a run the whole 4 days, and the Orioles only given up one. Sounds like there's a lot of close games to be played between these two teams.
There's a strike to Oswaldo Cabrera, who's wrapped into 2 double plays. He's 0 for 3. High fly ball, left center. Mullins is there.